Good morning, Bee. Today we're exploring Hamilton, one of Waikato's biggest cities and a place packed with nature, art, and culture. We've got a relaxed day planned with 3 of the city's best spots. First on the list, the Hamilton Gardens. Hamilton Gardens isn't just a park or your typical botanical garden. It's more like a living museum of garden design and human creativity. Each garden is themed after a different culture, time period, or conceptual idea of paradise. You walk from one garden world to another. It's storytelling through landscaping, architecture, plants, and hardscape design. It used to be that many of the garden areas were freely accessible. We were here back in 2018 and we took amazing photos, creating lasting memories. We certainly made the most out of it. But nowadays, there are pay-to-enter enclosed gardens. The main themed collection now typically requires an entry fee for non-Hamilton residents. So just to be sure, check their website for more information before you go. There is so much to see and you could easily spend the whole day just exploring all of the gardens. I can see how the guided tour would be worth the small fee. And here are some of our favorite enclosed gardens. The Japanese Garden of Contemplation. Peaceful, minimalist garden designed for study and reflection. The Indian Charbagh Garden, a symmetrical paradise garden meant to represent heaven on earth. The Ancient Egyptian Garden, a symbolic garden with design meant to represent the cosmos and Egypt itself. Chinese Scholars Garden, a classical Chinese landscape designed as a natural world of imagination and surprise. The Para Garden, a traditional Maori productive garden that showcases ancient Maori horticultural techniques. An Italian Renaissance Garden, inspired by 15th to 16th century Renaissance gardens with a grand symmetrical layout that sought to rationalize and improve upon nature. Modernist Garden, a minimalist garden inspired by American West Coast culture. And the last one is a collection of different gardens, the Fantasy Collection. The Fantasy Collection is where Hamilton Gardens really lets the imagination run wild. These gardens aren't based on real history, they're inspired by stories, novels, art, and ideas. It's a combination of different gardens, and each space feels like stepping into a different chapter of a book. You've got quirky, whimsical designs, dramatic architecture, and gardens that feel like they were pulled straight out of myths, fairy tales, and old storybooks. It's playful, surprising, and honestly one of the most creative parts of the entire place. Every turn feels like you're discovering a little world you didn't expect. And that brings us to the end of our time here in Hamilton Gardens. Every section felt like a little story of its own. Definitely a must-see in Hamilton, New Zealand. We're headed to our next spot, which takes us just at the outskirts of Hamilton. Where are we going, Alonzo?
Chickens!
Are you feeding the chickens?
No.
Why?
Here.
It's a place locals absolutely love. Welcome to Taitua Arboretum. It started back in 1970s when John and Bunny Mortimer planted trees here to create shelter for animals, and over the years it turned into their lifelong passion project. They gifted the whole 20 plus hectares to Hamilton in the 90s, and now it's open for everyone to explore and enjoy. The Taitua Arboretum is basically a giant outdoor garden full of towering trees, little lakes, birds everywhere, and peaceful walking trails. It's serene, relaxing, and perfect for the whole family. That was an easy, relaxed walk, and it loops back to the start, which is perfect. It never feels rushed or crowded, the best way to spend some quiet time outdoors. Now let's switch things up and head over to our next spot. From outdoors to indoors, we're heading to Waikato Museum. After being outside all day, this is a nice change of pace. The museum gallery is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, and entry is absolutely free. We're at the Waikato Museum in the center of Hamilton to learn more about Waikato history, Maori culture, and art with the help of modern and traditional exhibitions. There's a good mix of traditional Taonga, contemporary artworks, and interactive displays, so it stays interesting without feeling overwhelming. The layout is open and easy to move through, which makes it a nice place to take your time, especially after a day of walking. A lot of the exhibits connect back to places around Hamilton, so it adds context to what you've already seen around the city. And since the general entry is free, it's an easy stop whether you've got half an hour or more time to explore. So that was a quick look at the Waikato Museum. It's a solid place to learn a bit more about the region, definitely a place worth visiting. And that's how you spend a day in Hamilton. Gardens, green spaces, and a bit of local history. So if you're passing through, it's an easy place to spend a relaxed day. And if you find yourself with a bit more energy to spare, you can come join us and hit some golf balls. I'd say the perfect way to end the day in Hamilton. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe and happy travels.